Math, lesson 103. Here is a new kind of problem. It's called a line plot. It shows the x's above some of the numbers. We're going to find the average. The steps for finding the average are the same as the steps for finding the balance point of weights. First, we find the totals for the columns. The totals for these columns. Whoops. We add the totals of the columns. Then we divide by the number of x's, each of these x's. Point right here. The x's show how many you add. To find the total for the ones, we add 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. The total for 2 is 2. It's all by itself. 4. The total for 4 is 4 plus 4 plus 4, or 4 times 3, which is 12. And for 8, we have 8 plus 8, or 8 times 2, which is 16. Add the totals. This, and this together. The total for 2 plus 2 plus 12 plus 16 is 32. Now let's count all the x's to see what number we divide by. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We are going to divide 32 by 8, the number of x's. 32 divided by 8 equals 4. So our average is 4. Remember, to find the average, you add the totals for the columns and divide by the number of x's that are on the line plot. Now open your workbook to lesson 103 and find part 1 for some practice. Problem A. It's like the problem we just worked. Write the total under each number that has x's. Pause the video now to do so. Here is what you should have. Now add the totals and divide by the number of x's. The total for these x's of 4 plus 9 plus 10 plus 7 plus 20 is 50. And you're going to divide by the number of x's, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 50 divided by 10 is 5. So our average is 5. Problem B. Write the total for each column and add. Count the number of x's and figure out the average. Pause the video now to work the entire problem. Here's what you should have. There are 7 x's, so you work the problem 21 divided by 7, giving you the average of 3. Moving on to distributive property. When you work multiplication or division problems, you work problems for the tens and problems for the ones. I'll repeat that. When you work multiplication or division problems, you work problems for the tens and the problems for the ones. Here's 5 times 32. 5 times 32. We can write 32 as 30 plus 2. Now we add 5 times 30 plus 5 times 2. 5 times 30 plus 5 times 2. 5 times 30 plus 5 times 2. 5 times 30 equals 150. 5 times 2 equals 10. 150 plus 10 equals 160. So 5 times 32 equals 160. Eight times 31. 8 times 31. The two problems we add for 8 times 31 is 8 times 30 and 8 times 1. We'll add 8 times 30 plus 8 times 1. Four times 76. 4 times 76. The two problems we'll add together to solve this is 4 times 70 and 4 times 6. 3 times 51. We'll work the problem 3 times 50 plus 3 times 1. 9 times 28. To solve this, we're going to add together 9 times 20 and 9 times 8. Find part 2 in your workbook for practice. Problem A, you're going to complete the work for 3 times 54. The two problems you add together are 30 times 50 plus 30 times 4. Write those problems below 3 times 54, like so. This is what you should have. Now solve. 3 times 50 is 150. 3 times 4 is 12. 150 plus 12 equals 162. Problem B, you're going to complete the work for 7 times 91. The two problems you'll add together are 7 times 90 plus 7 times 1. Write those problems below, then complete the equation. Here's what you should have. Problem C, 4 times 85. The two problems you're going to add together are 4 times 80 plus 4 times 5. Do that now. Here's what you should have. Now open your textbook to lesson 103 and find part 1. The probability fraction for G is 2/10. G is on that spinner 2 times, and there's 10 pieces in all. Problem A reads, if you spin the wheel 20 times, what's the expected number for the spinner stopping at X? Pause the video now to work that problem. You start with the probability equation 3/10 t equals X. You'll plug in 2. You'll plug in 3 for X. No, you won't. Sorry, I messed that part up. So work the equation 3/10 t equals X. You have 20 spins, so 20 will be plugged in for t. This is what you should have. Problem B. How many times would you expect to spin the wheel until it stops at V 2 times? The equation you start with is 4/10 t equals V. You multiplied both sides by 10/4, the reciprocal of 4/10. Here's what you should have. Problem C. If you spin the wheel 40 times, what's the expected number for the spinner stopping at R? Pause the video now to work the problem. Resume when you're ready to check your work. Here's what you should have. Problem D. How many times would you expect to spin the wheel until it stops at G 3 times? Pause the video now to work the problem. Continue when you're ready to check your work. Here is what you should have for problem D. Now find part 2 in your textbook. Part 2 in your textbook. The decimal numbers that you'll write are shown with words. Number A says 14 and 8 thousandths. B says 5 and 49 hundredths. C says 26 thousandths. D says 40 and 5 tenths. E says 1 and 312 thousandths. Pause the video now to work all these problems. Continue when you're ready to check your work. Here is what you should have. Moving on to fractions for mixed numbers. I'll show you a fast way to change mixed numbers into fractions that are more than 1. You'll write the denominator of the fraction. Our denominator for this fraction is 5. Now you multiply and add. You multiply 5 times 2, then add 1. 5 times 2 equals 10, plus 1 is 11. That is the quick way. This fraction, 2 and 1/5, equals 11/5. 3 and 5/9. Say the multiplication, then the addition. 9 times 3 plus 5. Our denominator for this fraction will remain 9. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 5 equals 32. 6 and 2/3. Our denominator will remain 3. 3 times 6 equals 18, plus 2 equals 20. So 6 and 2/3 equals 20/3. 2 and 7/10. 10 is going to remain your denominator. 10 times 2 is 20, plus 7 equals 27. Remember, start with the denominator of the fraction, then multiply the denominator by your whole number and add your numerator. Find part 3 in your textbook. You're going to multiply or divide decimal values by 10, 100, or 1000. You'll write the new value. Problem A. The decimal number reads 725 thousandths. You're going to multiply 725 thousandths by 100. The decimal point is going to move 2 places to the right because you're multiplying. The new number will read 72 and 5/10. For each one that you multiply or divide by, the number of zeros in 10, 100, or 1000 shows how many places you need to move the decimal value. If you're multiplying, you move the decimal to the right. If you're dividing, you're moving the decimal to the left. There's 1 0 in 10, so you move the decimal point 1 place. There's 2 zeros in 100, so you move the decimal 2 places. There's 3 zeros in 1000, so you move the decimal 3 places. Problem B. 115 and 8/10 divided by 10. You'll move the decimal place 1 spot to the left. Problem C. 7 25 thousandths times 1,000. You'll move the decimal point 3 places to the right. D, 52 18 hundredths multiplied by 10. You'll move the decimal point 1 place to the right. 31 thousandths multiplied by 100. You'll move the decimal point 2 places to the right. 35 4 tenths divided by 100. You'll move the decimal point 2 places to the left. Your independent work begins now. Textbook parts 4 through 13. If you need help, reach out to me on chat. Otherwise, get busy.